Okay, so we were talking about this Marx theory. So there was a technical glitch that time. So we are continuing that. So we were talking that C is the constant capital. C is the constant capital, and this is the capital which is being used to buy the raw material by the industrialist, or you can say businessman. Then we have V as variable capital. So variable capital. So this variable capital is basically the investment, or you can say investment done on hiring the labor, and this labor is being paid wage. And the last one is surplus labor, surplus value. And this surplus value is basically the profit of the business. Okay. So the Marx have also, you can say, defined some other variables. So C by B, and this is also known as C by C plus B. This is known as organic composition of capital. Then we have S upon V, which is also called as the rate of exploitation. Then we have S upon C plus V, that is rate of profit. Okay. And this is also denoted as P. So P is equal to S upon C plus V. And it can be also written as S upon V into V upon C plus V. Okay. So if you will take S by V up, like S by V is rate of exploitation, and V upon C will be written as, like, we will do one more, 1 upon C upon C plus V. And this is organic composition of capital, which we have defined earlier, and this is the rate of exploitation. So if rate of exploitation is constant, then a increase in organic composition of capital, that is industrialist or businessman is investing in raw material. So investment in raw material, like if investment in raw material will increase, rate of profit will decrease. So this is the conclusion given by, you can say, Marx. So this negative sign gives us a negative relation between the two. So capital accumulation, initially businessman will start doing the capital accumulation, but after a certain period of time, due to huge investment in, or you can say, this raw material thing. So if this raw material, like investment in raw material, will increase as the time passes, so this profit will start declining, and ultimately capital accumulation will stop. But this is explained in a loosely term. We will do, like, I will give you a better, you can say, explanation to this. So first, some features of Marx. So like we were talking about some features of Marx. Like Marx was of the opinion that there is, like, this economic development is basically uh, based on the materialistic interpretation. Materialistic interpretation means if economic base of a country is enhancing, that is economic base means their GDP or GNP is increasing, then it will cause economic development. So this was the interpretation of, uh, you can say, Karl Marx. Materialistic interpretation. Materialistic interpretation. Next, we will, like, according to Marx, it is the surplus labor that leads to capital accumulation. So second feature is this. Then profits are basically determined by amount of capital. So as I have discussed earlier, like amount of capital, like if the investment is done on a huge basis, then this profit will also be high. Okay. Then I have given you this all these terms which were being discussed by Karl Marx. And then Karl Marx also talks about this simple reproductive, or you can say reproduction scheme. And what is this scheme? According to this scheme, all that is produced will be consumed. Okay, so all that is produced will be consumed. So this is also assumption, or you can say one of the implication of Karl Marx. And then if all that is produced is consumed, it will imply that their net investment will be zero and there will be no accumulation or surplus. So this was also one of the way Karl Marx has given the interpretation of capital accumulation. See, in economic development theory, capital accumulation is the key. So all those theory are hovering around the capital accumulation thing. So initially, these profit seekers, like profit seekers means these individual, or you can say businessman or capitalist or industrialist, they are trying to maximize their profit. In order to maximize their profit, they are doing huge amount of investment. These investment in capital lead to capital accumulation, and but this capital accumulation will not persist. Why? Because profit has a tendency to fall after a period of time, as we have seen in case of classical. The main crux is simple, like competition among the profit seekers, like competition among the businessmen will ultimately lead to the, you can say, decline of profit. And another interpretation is also key. This land or labor which they are using, so they have a tendency that if they are being exploited, they will revolt. So according to Marx, if you will do further exploitation of labor, they will revolt, and this conflict will ultimately lead to decline in capital accumulation, and this capitalism phase will end up. Okay, and then we will get into the phase of, you can say, socialism or communism. Then now I will just narrate a story, or you can say narrate, summarize conditions of Karl Marx. So Karl Marx is of the opinion that one of the consequences of capital accumulation is the concentration of capital in gigantic enterprises. So gigantic enterprises means, so initially they are investing, and then over the time they will concentrate their capital, and only big enterprises will be there. Okay, but the competition among capitalists will lead to like they have to cheapen their product. So this can be done by introducing some labor saving machines. So whatever will be the you can say method, but this competition will ultimately lead to decline in profit. And then like Karl Marx is also saying कि this जो accumulation, like this mechanism का जो process है, like initially capital accumulation is happening, but this capital accumulation will ultimately decline, and this capitalist system will collapse. But this is not a short duration, this is a long duration. Like if these capitalists initial, like try to see as it in a story way. How you can see it in a story way? So let's say some sort of individual are investing a lot, so they are making huge profit. But by the time, like initially there was a single farm, okay, so there was a single capitalist. But as the time passes, other businessmen also get attracted towards this business idea, so they will compete with those people, so their profit will decline. So then they will try to pass on this loss to the working class. So they will pay a minimum wage, or you can say lower wages to the working class. So in that way also they will try to, you can say, they will try to sustain a little bit, like their profit will again get back to normal. There is also one theory of imperialism. So it was given by Rosa, Luxemburg, and Lenin. So they were also saying ki imperialism is the highest state of capitalism. Imperialism. So imperialism is the highest state of capitalism. So there, these capitalists try to exploit other colonies. So they used to do this colonization, and this was very evident in the time when there was industrial revolution in Britain. So this industrial revolution, basically, you can say ki they have disregarded the Marx prediction. So Marx was predicting that this capitalism will ultimately collapse. But these are the reason, like uh, this theory of imperialism, which happens at that time, like these capitalists try to find other colonies to exploit. So this capitalism also sustained a little bit more. But again, Karl Marx was of opinion that this will also end, like this exploitation of labor in colonies will also uh, lead to an end in the near future, and ultimately socialism will happen. Okay, and Marx was very much, you can say, according to Marx, this conversion from like capitalism to communism is not a one-way process. So Marx has given his stages of growth theory, very similar to Rostow's stages of growth theory. So we will see Rostow's theory also. Marx stages of growth. So this stages of growth is basically will give you an idea that how capitalism ultimately converted into socialism. So first we have the primitive. So first stage is primitive communal stage. Communal stage. What happened in this stage? So primitive communal stage, we have this where man succeeded in advancing from the use of the sticks and stones to make new implements like bows and arrows. Like they also learned to make fire. So this was the, you can say, in historical terms, this was the Stone Age in which these human beings were learning how to make fire and how to use sticks and stones to make new implements like bows, arrow, and boats. Okay, so this was the primitive communal stage according to Marx. Then there was the slave stage. Then there was slave stage where slave owner basically own the slaves as well as the means of production. But this also ultimately got converted into feudal stage. Feudal stage where feudal lords were basically owning those slaves. Okay, so again, the feudal lords were in the power. Then there was the capitalist stage. Then there was the capitalist stage where capitalists basically own the means of production. So Marx was very clear about this that means of production, that is either it is labor, either it is land. So this labor and land is basically owned by different, you can say, owners at different times. Initially, slave owner were owning the means of production. Then feudal lords were owning this means of production, and in each stage there is the you can say conflict between the like those who are means of production and those who are owning those means of production. So this you can say conflict led to the end of that stage, and again next stage is got developed. Then after capitalist stage, we got into the last stage, that is social, or you can say socialist or communist communist stage. So this socialist and communist stage is the ultimate, and this will show you this is the stages of growth. Like socialist or communist stage is not a one-time stage. Like this is not a spontaneous response to the primitive communal stage. So this was a whole lot of stages which are being like which are being happening over a long period of time. Then we will also see Rostow's stages of growth theory in this development lecture only. So there also, like Rostow was also of opinion that these stages of growth theory is of linear stages of growth theory. But Rostow presented his stages of growth theory, where it was a non-communist manifesto. Like Marx, you can see that if this communist stage is achieved, so this is the opinion of communist manifesto. But Rostow gave his stages of growth theory on the basis of non-communist manifesto. So we will see this Rostow stages of growth theory also in the upcoming session. Okay.